Good morning. Happy Hump Day. Happy Hump Day, Hump Day, Hump Day. I'm Valerie Renee Shepherd, and I'm coming to you live from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. Yabba dabba doo, it's another Wednesday. I got my Elmer's mug here with some lovely matcha green tea. If you're watching live or on the replay, why don't you type in, what do you drink in the morning? What's your favorite thing? Where's your favorite mug? What does it look like? Mine is this yellow mug that I got in Palm Springs at this wonderful place. Shouting out to Elmer's. Oh my gosh. Biggest breakfast. I'm a foodie. Anyone who knows me knows there was probably not too much in the food kingdom that I'm not willing to try, at least. I may not fall in love with it, but me likes to eat. So shouting out to Elmer's, where I had one of the biggest breakfast brunch things I've ever had. The other thing I like to do is taste what everyone else has, because I always wonder, maybe I should have gotten that. Maybe I'll get that next time. So hey to Elmer's, what do you drink or eat? What is your favorite? Hashtag replay, hashtag live. Good morning. I see you out there. Thank you so much for joining me. It's so wonderful to be here. Happy Hump Day. Hump Day. We're going to talk about a really powerful self-mastery principle today about legacy. And it's funny, especially when we get into this time of year, I'm noticing some little things on my desk. We get into this time of year, we can get into this idea of where our ancestors are, our family members who are no longer in the physical body, in the third dimension where we are. We can start to think about all kinds of really interesting things. And so today I wanted to talk about this legacy idea, this concept of inheritance. Inheritance. Hump Day Happy Chat number 197. What is your legacy? Interesting the way I got to this conversation. A dear one of my dearest friends transitioned out of the body physical on August 1st, and I was talking to her middle daughter, her youngest daughter, middle child, youngest daughter yesterday. And I just love Kathy and her children, and get really tenderhearted. And we were having a moment, and we were thinking about how crazy this is that she's gone. Like, what on earth? Like, what happened here? And as we were considering that, I started thinking about this concept of inheritance. Because, of course, the family, after someone leaves, the family is left with kind of integrating that which the person amassed, created, left behind, so to speak, integrating that into their lives. I have a couple friends who are doing this, of integrating, feeling the departed person still around. And that is such a gift and a blessing. And truly to actually feel that forever is the cultivation that we get to practice in the absence of their physical presence. And then also there's the integration of who they were, what they created, what they gave, what they kept, who they were being. Inheritance, the practice of receiving these things, whether it's property or entitlements, sometimes it's debt, privileges, royal families, the privileges, the rights, as well as the obligations and responsibilities are passed down. Some as birthrights, by your bloodline, a particular right of possession in the legal term that is given over from birth, most especially to eldest children, firstborn. and this broader sense of legacy. Somebody who went before created this to be handed down, a legacy. And you probably have examples like a great grandparent or a great aunt. Somebody was famous in your family for something. Maybe you have a generations old recipe for fruitcake. Ah, do you? I actually can dig fruitcake sometimes. I can actually dig it when I soak it in the liquid that you use, the egg and milk mixture with nutmeg and stuff to make holiday French toast. Some fruitcakes are really, really good for that. Other ones I sort of, I don't know about this stuff. Feels like a rock. But it can be good. So maybe that's you. You've got this generations old recipe for fruitcake. Maybe you've got a generations old set of cufflinks or a pin that was brooch that was passed down as the something old in wedding ceremonies for generations. It's been passed down. Maybe it's a special ring. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's that piece of land. Maybe it's a particular saying or a way of interacting. Like at a time of year, we do this, and we've been doing it for generations, eons. The family reunion is always done on the property that great aunt Elsa had. Legacy. And there are so many beautiful things that come with legacy. Beautiful things that we are proud of, things that we are grateful for, strength. In my family, there's this musical ability. Music was passed down through generations. My brother got it. He thinks I got more of it than I think I do. I just haven't cultivated it the way he has. So shouting out to Michael, my special heart, my big bro. Maybe in your family it's painting or writing or carpentry or dance or gardening or tinkering. I know that I got my engineering mind from my father, and he got it from his someone in our line. So these things are beautiful, wonderful, love it. Oh, can't get enough. And cultivate those things and be proud of them and love them and remember who they're from, who passed this down to you. And in cultivating them, you are in that moment honoring them. You're honoring them. You're reminding them that they were here and that you saw and heard and understood them and that you're grateful, even if it's not your thing, even if it's not like, okay, I'm going to be a musician, I'm going to be a painter, even if it's not your thing, you can still honor that you have a predisposition for this thing that they created for you and they handed to you as your legacy gift from them, their legacy gift to you. Yay. And then there is also legacy that is not so positive, that is not so helpful, that is not so endearing, that is not so supportive, that is not so true. Unfortunately, traits that can be handed down can also be destructive. There can be a perceptual lens about the world. There can be relationship patterns from person to person that we might be blind to, that we might not understand, that we may have even consciously declared, I'm not going to be like that. There could be words, actions, attitudes. These could have happened through our culture, through your ethnicity, through events in the world, and also within your family. Unfortunately, legacies can be detrimental. Legacies can be harmful. Legacies can actually hold you back. So, good or, excuse me, serving you or not serving you, a legacy is definitely the gift that keeps on giving. It is going to keep going until someone notices, especially the negative legacy, and does something to transmute, transcend, transform it. So have you ever heard the stories like, alcoholism runs in my family? I've heard this before from clients. Alcoholism runs in my family. In every generation, there's been a famous, and famous I mean within the family because of their behaviors, famous alcoholic. I'm never going to be that way. The declaration of separation. I'm never going to be that way. In our family, it's always about money. We're always worried about money. My parents did it. My grandmother kept pennies in a jar. Like there could be that. Our family was always worried about money. My great grandfather lost everything on his on a belief in some investment opportunity, and my father remade it back, and I've got a successful company. But somehow in every generation, people are worried about money. That's a legacy. In some families, it's some form of emotional or physical abuse that gets passed down. Generations and generations, there was some kind of thing that happened. Parent on child or sibling on child. There's some kind of thing that happened. And there's the declaration of, I'm not going to be that way. And then there's a manifestation of something similar that is passed down in the legacy. I'll never speak to my children the way my parents spoke to me. I'll never do it that way. Are you connecting to anything like that in your line? Is it a legacy behavior, a legacy belief system, a legacy idea pattern, a legacy behavior that has been passed down to you? And you think it's yours. And you think it's yours. And so here at the Hartley Center for Self-Mastery, Mindfulness and Self-Mastery, Dr. Valerie and others are helping people understand what's in that bucket, that basket, that gift bag marked legacy. I got this from my parents. I got this from my uncle. I got this from my older brother. I got this from my great, 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 great grandparent who came over on the Mayflower. Whatever that is, wherever you are in the world, whatever your ancestry is giving you an opportunity to carry and express, or not. Maybe not. Maybe that one maybe not. Oh, nope, no. Maybe not. Whatever that opportunity is for you, in this concept of self-mastery, you have the opportunity to liberate yourself. You no longer need to subconsciously be fearful of the legacy of alcoholism or the legacy of anger response or the legacy of abuse. You no longer need to be fearful of it. You don't need to brace yourself against it, because whatever you are resisting, you are persisting. It's universal law. You cannot outrun it. It doesn't even make sense to try. So here's the thing. In the concept of self-mastery, the first pillar is self-awareness. Self-awareness. So if you want to understand, like, what legacy am I living? What am I perpetuating? Not because you want to damn your ancestors, not because of that. We want to love them. We want to love it back into wholeness. And we need to be aware that it's there before we can do anything about it. You cannot heal what you're not willing to look at. I always say, lean forward and get to know it. Hello, the alcoholism that's run in my bloodline. Where did that come from? What was my ancestor trying to drink away? What pattern of, I can't handle this without self-medicating, was my ancestor dealing with? And can you feel the compassion? Can you feel that desolation that that ancestor may have been dealing with? Can you look at it from a lens of, it's not happening to me, it happened to them? And how can I honor what they went through and hold it in a tender, compassionate, unconditionally loving heart without becoming it? So the self-awareness, every time that I feel my anger and express my anger, I am aware of some legacy connection to ancestry. Whether it's the ancestry of the enslaved who had to swallow their rage, whether it was the ancestry of a United States Marine, well-decorated Marine Corps officer, career Marine officer, and the battle-hardened heart that goes with 2 tours of duty in combat Vietnam. Whatever those things are that were passed down to me, every time that anger comes up, I get an opportunity to say, I love you. I get an opportunity to connect to the desolation they felt, to the hurt, to the fear, deep fear, terror maybe. I think for my enslaved ancestors, it was terror. To connect to that and to love them. Send my energy backward in time, filled with the little stars and hearts, sparklies of love and acceptance and compassion. So how do we navigate the world in the presence of potential legacy behaviors, legacy ideas, legacy belief systems that really don't serve us in the present moment? In the present moment, you are being called to courageously look at what's been handed down to you through your family line and deciding that if there are negative legacy events and actions and behaviors and perceptions and beliefs and ideas, low vibration, not good or bad or right or wrong. The Hartley Center, we focus on, does it serve me or does it not? I don't need to call it right or wrong. Does it serve me or does it not? Is it high vibration, elevating me into a life of bliss? Or is it low vibration, keeping me in a pit of despair with little blips of happiness every now and then? Your low vibration cycles of ancestry. How can you create a new destiny for yourself and your descendants? You have a legacy to create. And wouldn't it be beautiful to create it in the freedom, emotional freedom of you doing you in a high vibration way? Who are you being when you think you're being you? Are you being the legacy behaviors of familial patterns that, in fact, in the present moment do not serve you? Wake up. Dear one, beloved, Wake up. It doesn't mean you have to, no. It's not about fighting. Loving yourself back into a whole, spiritual, human person, connected in every way, grounded in this moment, in the present, in the planet Earth, the third dimension, and at once through the crown and your heart, always and forever connected to the divinity that you are, that is not necessarily of this world. It's just here in you. How does God get to be here? He gets to be here in you and in me. The presence of the divine is in us, asking to be expressed. And sometimes legacy ideas of who we are, what we came here for, how the world works, what we can and can't have, how we create, who's controlling us and who isn't, those legacy ideas can get in our way. Create a new destiny for yourself and your descendants. Heal backwards and forwards in time. How do you heal backwards in time? You notice what they had to go through and you send love to them and gratitude, because the fact that they went through it means you're still here. They survived and you get to be here. So thank you, ancestors. I am your descendant, and I am healing that which hurt our bloodline, our culture line, our lifeline through generations. I will be the one. It ran in our family until it ran into me. That's not my quote. I heard it the other day and I loved it. It ran in my family until it ran into me. Thank you, Joel Osteen. It ran in my family until it ran into me. So examples of negative legacies. There were some studies to look at how this happens. In 1874, there was a study. A member in the New York State Prison Board noticed that there were 6 members in one family line who were serving time in prison. And it got this person to thinking, how does this happen? How can there be a family, quote unquote, family of criminals? Like what is that? So this person decided to do a study of that family line. It was traced to the 1700s, an ancestor by the name of Max Jukes, known as the troublemaker. He had 6 daughters and 2 sons. This study looked at a massive number of their descendant line, 1,200 to be exact. 1,200 people from this descendant line were studied. What they found was amazing. 310 were homeless. 180 were alcoholics. 160 had drug addiction problems. 150 had served time in prison since the 1700s till 1874. Pretty amazing. The study was also done around the same time on a man named Jonathan Edwards. The family legacy in this situation was very different. Jonathan Edwards was a theologian. He was the president of Princeton University. He was considered a very devoted family man. He had 11 children. 1,400 of his descendants were studied. 13 of them were college presidents. 65 were professors. 35 were lawyers. 66 doctors. 85 authors of really classical books. 80 held public office. 3 were senators. 1 was a United States vice president. Legacy. 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 What is your legacy? What has been given to you that is not yours that is not serving you that you can transmute and release your family line from it forever. It ran in my family until it ran into me. It ran in your family until it ran into you. And you said, enough of this. Not no mo. I think I'm going to let this go. And I'm going to create a legacy from this point forward that is absent that. I'm going to say, no, thank you, please. Think about the energy of that. Like, instead of worrying about whether you make $1 million and you can send 3 generations of descendants to college, instead of worrying about that, maybe take a moment to look for the negative legacy in your family's behaviors and idea systems, belief systems. And how can you heal and forgive and release them? Transmute them. Because I guarantee you, the money ain't going to do that. The money could actually dissolve, because the belief systems and patterns, emotional, in the legacy behaviors and ideas that are passed down could actually nullify what that money could do. Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? Your generational low vibration can be turned around in you. You just have to say yes, lean into the yes, do the dance, and get her done. So here are the steps, okay? First, number 1 in self-awareness is noticing you. Yeah, that you like Rocky Road ice cream and you definitely don't like sushi. Notice I went to food. I can't get around it. I like it. But also noticing, man, I don't like those kind of people. Where did that come from? Is it my idea or was it passed down to me? Look at it. Oh, I don't think money is supposed to be used this way. I don't think you're supposed to cut down trees. I don't think you should wear white after Labor Day. I have a blog on that one. You can check that out. What are your thoughts, your ideas, your fears? What brings the fear up? When do you notice that perturbation, as Buckminster Fuller would say, that perturbation that is a signal to you of fear? When do you feel your rage coming in, that anger, that Gandalf moment, as I say, that you shall not pass, this shall not stand? When do you feel that? And is it yours? Is it yours? Is it serving you? Not good or bad or right or wrong. Is it serving you in the present moment, in the life that you are creating? It's not about making lemonade out of lemons. It was just what I inherited, so I just have to do that. No. Say yes to something different that you create consciously, choosing it. Also, ask where things came from. Maybe talk to some of your ancestors who are still alive. Read their journals if they're not. Look at what they did. Wonder about them. Ask them to show you from the other side. Learn about your ancestry. Take a hard look, a very definitive look at your family, and determine what is the generational legacy that is being passed along, and determine where did it come from. Is the legacy a positive, supportive, life-giving one, or is it not? Not to denigrate it, to honor it as whatever it had to be, and then choose. So the next step, that's number 1, notice what you notice about you being you and where that came from. Number 2, do your forgiveness work to love yourself back into wholeness. Once you notice, ooh, this isn't mine. It's not mine. And it's not in the present moment. Love it back into wholeness. Forgive and release the low vibration. Forgive what was handed down to you and why and how. Do Ho'oponopono. I have several release practices in step 2 of the 4-step Happy to Be Me process in my book. You can find them all over the place. I love forgiveness. It's one of my favorite actions. Ho'oponopono, you can just carry it around and be that. Anytime you see a trash on the ground, you can do Ho'oponopono. Denigration of the earth, Ho'oponopono. People angry at each other, or you angry at somebody else, Ho'oponopono. Your impatience at having to stand in line at the grocery store, Ho'oponopono. You can forgive yourself. Where does this impatience come from? Forgive it. Step 3, lovingly choose. Make a conscious choice of who you want to be. How are you going to be you that does not perpetuate this low vibration energy being passed down to your descendants? The low vibration ideas of who you are, who they are, being passed down to them. The low vibration energy of how the world works, being passed down them. The low vibration energy of how we relate to one another, of who's acceptable and who's not, being passed down generationally in your legacy of belief and behavior. Your legacy of belief and behavior. Lovingly choose, what are you going to be? In my Living Happy to Be Me 3-step process, step number 3, make up a new story of you in your life. How are you going to be the positive nature of the legacy from your ancestry without allowing the activation of the lower vibration legacy of your ancestry? And then number 4, expand your horizons. Go see what's out there that can add to this positive generational legacy and create anew the legacy that starts from you. Get out of the rut of your comfort zone. I've always been this. I've always done this. This is what I know. I'm too old to go back to school. Whatever the stories that you tell yourself are that are holding you in a vibration that is not serving you and is not creating the legacy that you want to pass down. Get out of your comfort zone rut. Expose yourself to options that you may have never associated with yourself, that you don't see when you look back in your legacy. This is not the way my familial line ever created or ever believed or ever expressed themselves. And nonetheless, I will check it out. And maybe I will be the generation that starts this legacy of high vibration, positivity, love infused energy that gets passed down, passed down, passed down. They got that from me. They got that from me. Get out of the rut of your comfort zone and the legacy that may not be serving you. Expose yourself to travel, different cultures, different ideas, different belief systems, different ways of being and ways of doing that you may encounter and experience and integrate from being out there. Get your passport. If you don't have a passport or you can't get one in your country, where can you go? How can you see more? Go to a big market and notice what's going on. Create a new friendship with someone who is not at all like you. What can you learn? What can you expand into? Who are you being when you think you're being you? And how can that expand into a you that is creating a powerful legacy for your descendants? What a legacy. What a legacy. Thank you for being here with me. That's it for today's Hump Day Happy Chat. Number 197, y'all. And I always close the Happy Chat with the Karanaya Metta Sutra, the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. And I don't say this prayer to supplant any other prayer you pray. I pray lots of prayers, including a very powerful version of the Lord's Prayer. So whatever prayer you are also praying, this is not about not praying that. It's both and. How much more can you add to your prayer practice that serves you and supports the unfolding peace, love, and joy on the planet? May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be happy. And may all beings be free. Free to fly, to spread your wings and be the angelic, divinely human, spiritual person that you are. Go be that. Go do that. Stay well and choose happy, y'all. Dr. Valerie Renee Shepherd, signing off. Hump Day Happy Chat. Bye now.